Well, this was not on my original to-do list today. We have major drain field issues. Our house is 6 years old, fixing to be 6 years old in use. We moved in six years ago, the end of March 2019. So not quite 6 years. We should not be messing with our drain field at this point. Septic systems are not like they used to be. So growing up, my parents lived down on the coast, about 5 miles inland from, as the crow flies, from the Gulf of America, and it's swampland. Their backyard stays underwater. They do not have a mounded septic system, drain field, nothing, and they have never had drain field issues. And their drain field has been in place since I was 3 or 4, I can't remember, something like that, 1988. So they've never had an issue. They've had their septic pumped maybe one time. Since we've lived here, we've had ours pumped 3 times in 6 years. Now, my parents had 5 kids, we have 13. But something ain't right, I'm sorry. The new systems they've got are ridiculous. So, first couple times we had it pumped because it was backed up. I don't know nothing about sewer systems. This time, about a month ago, it backed up again. Started gurgling in the toilets inside when we were taking a shower. Backing up the toilet. I'm like, man, we don't have the money right now. It was fixing to be Christmas, and like we don't have the money to do this, so we're gonna have to figure it out. I'll get in there and shovel out myself if I have to. So we open the lids of the tank, and there's a filter leaving the septic tank. Now, I guess that's the new thing, and that thing was stopped up. And it's been a year since we've had it pumped. Before that, it lasted 2 years. Before that, it was 1 year. And so I took that screen out. It's about 2 feet long, and water went right out. Washed out the filter, put it back in. The tank drained like it was supposed to out into the drain field. No more issues. Fast forward to a couple nights ago, the toilet was starting to gurgle again, and I'm like, really? After a month, that's it? So I'm like, I'm just going to take that filter out of there. I'm sorry. The solids are in the first part. This is just water anyway. Very, very few. I'm just going to take it out. And the reason I think it was clogged before is because when they pump the tank out, it goes below that barrier that's in between, and it allowed solids to come under. Whenever it filled back up a couple days later, clogged the filter right back up. And it's just took a little while, but it finally stopped running. So when we popped the lid off the tank this time, pulled the filter out, the filter looks fine. No water's leaving. I snaked out into the drain field pipe, nothing, wasn't clogged. So we dug up our manifold up here, and water's gushing up out of the ground. Well, that's not good. So then last night, black dark, we come out and we started trying to find the ends of the infiltrator. We found the end of this one. Water just comes bubbling up like a spring. I'm like, that's not good. We put in 4 drain field lines when we did our septic. We told them, all right, listen, we understand we have 3 bathrooms, but you don't need to size it for 3 bathrooms. You need to size it for however many kids we had at the time, 8 or 9 kids. So they put us in more drain field than we needed. So we found that, popped it so that way it could drain, and went to bed. I had to go to work this morning. Christian and Jonathan came out here at daylight, started digging, which was a huge blessing to us. Come out this morning to leave to work, and they're out here digging. And they actually found the rest of the lines here. 3 of them are bubbling water up at the end. 4th one is the one that I just showed over here. And this is what's disappointing. We've gotten half this dug. Pulled the 3 infiltrators out so far. Bone dry. Dirt was all the way up to the top of the infiltrator underneath. That thing has never worked. It was not even installed properly. And we've started tunneling into that one, and it's still dry in there, which tells me it's probably clogged all the way. So I don't know how they got them infiltrators in there and got them filled with dirt like that. That's disappointing. Very disappointing. And the company we had do it actually somewhat friends of mine, and I work with them on a daily basis. Almost at our company, we work with them on a daily basis doing our septic systems, and that's what I call them, the pump. They're jam up people. Somebody on their crew that day was not doing their job properly, and the inspectors that come out and inspected this and signed off on it for it to be covered over were not doing their job, and that's frustrating. This is the drain field system we have. These are called infiltrators. They're about 5-6 feet long. It's hard plastic dome, and it just allows a tunnel that the drain field pipe coming out dumps into, and then the water just runs underneath these tunnels and wicks into the ground. And it's also got slotted sides right here to where the water can wick through the side. But as you can see, don't always work like it's supposed to. That's clogged up with dirt, so it's having a hard time wicking out as it is. So we've got ourselves a mess. Now those infiltrators cost $60 a piece. I was afraid I was going to have to replace this whole drain field because I don't know that much about it, but once I started digging in, did a little research online, I'm like, I got to figure this out. I'm not paying somebody thousands of dollars to come replace this thing. And so we dug this up. We're finding this. We're gonna have to dig that whole side up and redo it. Get all that dirt out of there, redo it. And this is the end of this one. So what we've done is dug out here, and we're gonna extend this by 2 infiltrators here. So that'll give us another 12 feet of drain field, in addition to a whole nother line over here when we get this working. And that should do. I think what the problem is I'm fairly certain it's just we're a big family. We use a lot of water, and I think it finally just caught up with us. The ground's just saturated right in this area and not letting it drain out like it's supposed to. So we're cutting down on water usage inside. Our laundry, when we built the house, we actually separated the laundry off, so our washer machines do not dump into the septic. They dump out into the yard out here. I kind of wish I would have done that for the showers and tubs too, honestly, but it's kind of too late at this point to do anything about it. But what I'm thinking about doing is, at some point soon, at the end of maybe this line right here, bury a 55-gallon drum with a lid and put some sort of screen system on it to where the water can go down into that. And I'm going to put a sump pump down in there and pipe it out to where I can use it to water either the pastures or the fruit trees or something like that. Sounds gross. It ain't any worse than using cow or chicken manure. Just saying. And it's clean water out here at this point. I mean, it doesn't have any solids in it, is what I mean. And this always stays nice and green out here, the drain field area, because it's fertilizer. And I might as well put it to use and take some pressure off of my drain field. Stinky water. Oops, sorry. I think we're perfect. Does it go under? Yes, it goes taps. Okay, pick it up. Yeah. Okay, let it down. Let it down. Perfect. All right. Spicy water on you. Welcome back to day 2 or 3, however you want to look at this. Well, it got way too hot yesterday. By too hot, I mean 75 degrees. In the summer, I would take that anytime, but it's not supposed to be 75 in the wintertime. So we got phase 1 of the project done and stopped until this morning. The boys come back out. We're digging this up now. And we've got, I think, 2 infiltrators left to go till the beginning. So it looks like this whole line was stopped up. So we're gonna redo it. Okay. Side's loose. Let's pull it back. We don't. Oh yeah. You tell me if that's wet. A little more. All right. Y'all want to see up in here what we're dealing with? That is what we're dealing with. Very little of an opening up top. We've dug up to that point up in here with the shovel. That's just a slap full of dirt. It's never worked. When it got full, it came a little drizzle came over the top and made this wet over here, but that's it. Careful with it. All right. Wow. Yeah, that ain't never worked. Unbelievable. You can see there's a little sediment right on top where it looks like it has, yep, so there's a little opening, half inch maybe, where that's had enough to leak out on the top. The rest of this is just dirt. Well, we're going back with it. We got this pipe, took all this apart because it's not glued, rinsed everything out. That pipe was actually facing way down, and we've got it sloping down, but it's not a mean angle. And got a new cap put on the end of here because this was broken. And then I had a little section of extra piece here that we just set over top because this end was busted up a little bit. So that'll help protect anything from going down in there. And then I think for extra safety, I'm going to actually use this stuff here that was already on there. I'm going to just put it back over top so that way no dirt can wash down into the beginning of this. That was actually super quick. That stuff goes in real quick. We're just going to get this cap put on the end down here. And there was a spot right down here that needs to be covered because it got damaged a little bit, but I think we're good to go. Well, we're back in business. Got it all graded out, leveled up. It's good to go. Only thing we left is this drain line here. This is the lowest of the 4, so it's going to be the first to fill. And we are going to go ahead and sink a barrel 55-gallon drum in the ground right here, right at the edge, so it can fill into that drum, and probably pipe it with an elbow or something like that. That way it's just clean water and not sand going down in there. And then we'll put a pump in, and that way when it fills, we will use it to water either fruit trees or out in the pasture out here where we're trying to get grass growing. So kill two birds with one stone, keep from waterlogging our drain field and make good use of it with free water and fertilizer mixed in. But we're done with this for today. Well, this winter crop was, I mean, I'm not going to call it a total failure because it did grow. It just did not get very thick or big, and it's kind of yellowy. Our soil is just not where it needs to be back here yet. This used to all be woods, and we cleared it, and you know, we've been dragging the manure in a little bit, but it's not there yet. You can see there's a few patches of dark green there, and like up here. So in a perfect world, it would all be at a very minimum looking like this right here, and not like that. So these oats get about 4 feet high in good conditions, and when they seed out. And this has been a couple months in the making, and you can see there's a few bare spots where the ground's kind of hard. But yeah, we're gonna have to work on building the soil back here. But I think we're gonna go ahead and open it up and let them eat it, because it's starting to warm up, and these oats are gonna start to die off once it gets into a warm stretch. Turn that guy off. Unhook it just to be safe. What? All y'all do is complain. Yeah, I hear you. You're about to be happy.
Bring it my way.
Yeah, go ahead and just roll it that way, and then we'll roll it up once they're in. But we don't want them going through it. Charlotte's in there. There you go. Just that quick, they got this cut down like a lawnmower. I like having happy cows. That green grass makes them happy. They'll enjoy this for a while. They'll probably mow most of it down today. They've been missing that green grass. Well, one of our buyers had to reschedule pickup from last week to this week for these little girls. So they're going to be leaving here in just a few minutes. We just caught them and put them in the pens. That's right. Those Herefords sure are good looking pigs. And that just leaves one, and that's ours. We're going to be feeding it out. It's a little bar. We cut him already, and he's the last pure Hereford, and we want to try them, see if there's a taste difference in between pure Hereford and a Hereford mix, because the Hereford mix is a really good quality meat, well marbled fat, delicious. This one's from the last batch. It'll be getting butchered in another probably, I don't know, 8 weeks or so, and that'll be our fall butcher pig there. Well, I think that's going to do it for today's video. We greatly appreciate you watching, and hope you have a fantastic day. We'll see you next time.